guys, welcome back. Thought I might hop on and do a little bit of talking. This is not a unsolved story time or a death story or an unsolved thing. This is a little bit about my kids. I was talking to my second to youngest son today. He is 14. He's getting ready to be 15. And we were talking today, and it just kind of clicked in me that my kids have this sense of entitlement, and I'm not very okay with that. And I'm not sure where they got that from. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and I never raised my kids to feel like they were. So, our conversation went like this, and well, what was said was this was, I was asking my son, I said, did you hear about that, TikTok video? I was like, where that guy did that. Well, starting at the beginning, I had my playlist on and Fleetwood Mac came on. And it just come into my mind about that video that guy did for TikTok, and it became famous. And I told my son that. He was sitting at the table, and I said, did you hear about that guy that did the TikTok video for Fleetwood Mac? And he was drinking like, ocean spray. And, he went viral, and they ended up giving him a truck. And I told my son that, and I was like, did you hear about that? I was like, I said, they gave him a truck. And my son says, who did? And I said, Ocean Spray. I said, because he was drinking Ocean Spray in the video. And my son kind of thinks for a second, and he says, did he get to choose what truck? And I was like, why would he get to choose? I was like, I'm sure he was thankful to get the truck, right? No matter what truck they gave him, be thankful, right? And right then it hit me that my son must feel completely entitled, which I think my kids are. I do warn them all the time that if, they don't follow the rules, if, they don't respect the rules, that we're going to go right back to Amish, that I'm going to take the electric and we are going to live by candlelight. What do you think? That would wake them up, huh? But I have not done that yet. My normal punishment is to take away Xboxes and things that they have, which, let's be honest, I always tell my kids, I'm like, do you realize when I was a kid, they didn't have that stuff? I'm like, VHS came out when I was a teenager. Video games didn't come out till I was a teenager. There was no cell phones. I remember the first things were like beepers, pagers, remember? And my kids look at me like I'm speaking a foreign language. They're like, what? And, I'm like, there was no, Xboxes and things. They were Atari, the little joystick and the little buttons, and you played like Frogger. Do you remember that? That's the first thing I remember, because I have an older brother and a sister, and my oldest brother ended up getting an Atari, and I'd get to play that sometimes, and that's what I remember. So, and I've told him, I'm like, you all get, my kids love Zaxby's, but and when I go do my grocery shopping, I usually bring them back Zaxby's, and they've become so accustomed to that, and I'm like, and that's like $40 to feed them all. That's crazy. That's crazy. And I'm like, do y'all know when I was a kid, we didn't go out to eat. No, no, no. There was no runs to McDonald's for Happy Meals. There was no, little kids' meals from anywhere. It didn't work like that. No, my parents did not raise us like that. Eating out was a rare treat, and it was usually with, for some sort of special occasion with my grandparents or something, and eating out at like banquet table buffet. So, and those were great times, because you really, appreciated the fact that you got to eat out. Now my kids, think it's just a regular occurrence, and they don't appreciate it so much. So my thoughts were like, why do my kids feel so entitled to this? Have I created little monsters, giving them what they want? And I've cut back on Christmas and things. Things are so expensive. So I try not to let my kids sit with this idea that I have lots of money, because I don't. I'm a single parent, and money is tight. I have 3 special needs kids, and money is very tight. It just, and when I was a kid, my parents had us 3 kids, and I've already raised 2 of my kids. I have 2 older kids that are adults now, but I have 3 younger kids now that I'm raising, and then my parents had us 3, me and my older brother, my older sister. And I always feel like it's the same thing. We weren't raised to think that money grew on trees, so I'm not sure why my kids believe that. I I think a lot about things when my kids start talking, and it just kind of clicks on me, and I'm like, why do you think that? But I'm always, my first thing is when they misbehave or they don't want to listen, I'm like, I will take you to Amish. We will go without, there will be no routers, no Wi-Fi. And my son's always got that little smart crack that, well, I get a hotspot, I can get Wi-Fi. And I said, you don't realize that the router's connected to the modem, and the modem, the Wi-Fi's connected to the router's connected to the modem's connected to the surge protector. The surge protector is connected to the electric, and I pay the electric bill, so it can be cut off. So my son doesn't want to register the fact that, it all starts with the electric bill being paid. And, if you have no electric and you're living by candlelight, you're not going to have that Wi-Fi. So, one of these days, I think you might just push me too far, and I might just cut it all off. I'm not going to pay the electric bill and see what my kids think about lighting a candle, walking room to room. Oh, they would just absolutely have a fit. They don't know that. And that brings back to mind, some of the best times I can remember when there was bad weather. The power would go out in the house when I was a kid. And when there was bad weather, the power would go out. And my dad had these oil lamps, and he would light them. And I don't know why, I always thought that was the best time, when those oil lamps were lit and we just sat around and talked with the light of those lamps. But it's the little things you remember, and that made you closer as a family. And I wish that these days weren't so based on Wi-Fi and electronics and Xboxes and game cards and cell phones and everything like that. But yeah, so okay, I'm gonna be quiet now, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know what you think. Should I take my kids to Amish, and we will see how they react? What do you think? Maybe we should do it just to get a video. All right, guys, take care. I'll be back really soon with a another video and a crime story. I've got a good one coming up, so like, subscribe. Bye, guys.